All right, so after 12-ish hours of kind of knowing how teams were doing, but it being a little bit unclear because of the cloverleaf nature of the design of the course, we've got 3 teams that have cleared stage 1. There's 5 stages, but stage 1's by far the biggest. So we had Wadali out of here about 2.5 hours ago, which was roughly 2 hours ahead of the fast team course estimate. Quest was an hour back from them, and Rib Mountain, I think, just left, about another hour back. So the top 3 teams are an hour apart each. And they're all headed out to TA2-3, which Paul kind of explained what they're seeing on the way there and then what they've got left.
Yeah, so on the way there, they're getting to do a lot of route choice on the bike. So there's good single track that they can choose. There's some areas where they might want to choose to maybe do a little bushwhack and get on snowmobile trail. It might be a little bit faster. And so they've got to be thinking about that. But some great fast single track in there as well. So some of the early single track, in that Rock Lake loop that they did, that was really technical. Some of the stuff that they're coming in on now is going to be super fast. They're going to be able to ride some gravel roads, so they'll pick up speed here, and it looks like that's right about where Wadali is right now. So they're just going to be coming down nice speed on the gravel, and they just moved. And then they'll probably be doing a little bit of single track coming back into North End. So they've got a really good mix, and there's a ton of route choice down here, particularly getting up to this old fire tower location. Honestly, this time of the day, it's dark. Things are slowing down a little bit, so it'll be interesting to see what the route choices are for all of them, because there's a lot of options in there.
And then from TA2 is the big trek.
Yeah, so TA2 is a big orienteering section. So there are 15 points out there, all in the dark. So so that's throughout this area. So the green dots that you're seeing for the most part there, that's the orienteering section. There's a lot of trail out there, and that can make things appear to be easy, but it's almost a maze of trails, so you really have to pay attention to where you are. Also, the topography is really kind of picky in there, so some very subtle features, and working on that in the dark, you can't just scan through the woods and see all that stuff. So this is really, I think, going to be a critical leg or critical stage.
Yeah, so anybody who's wondering, not all the stages are 12 hours long. Stage 1 was the only 12-hour stage, and so the rest of the stages are going to get shorter. And so from here at HQ TA1 to here, we'll have a really good idea comparatively how teams are doing against each other. Then we're going to get here, once you get out of the top, then we'll find out, but maybe top 10-ish teams, then dropping is going to start coming into play. So if you go on to the results tab through the tracking.
What does that mean, dropping is going to start coming into play?
So skipping points. So that's what I was going to say. So like here, Ribs hasn't uploaded yet because they just downloaded their points. But we're collecting the data from their little memory finger sticks, which is how we keep track of which points that they got to throughout the course. So it shows what point they got and what time they got it. So on here, you've got Wadali and Quest 1 and 2. They got all 27. They're on pace to clear the course. Then which means getting all the points on the course. Then you've got a couple teams with 21 and 20. So they've chosen to skip points strategically so that they can keep moving on the course and maybe have a chance at getting to parts of the course that allow them to get more points. Or just got cold in the paddle and they got sick of paddling. It's kind of tough to say. They'll tell you one thing and you don't really know what went into those decisions. So those teams relative to each other is going to be tough to figure out, because a team that only has 19 here compared to somebody else's 21, they may end up being able to get more points later than this team that has 21 now. So that's still kind of going to be up in the air until we see teams heading back this way. But we'll be able to tell within the next 5 or 6 hours, if that, which teams are going to have a real shot at clearing the course. And once they're kind of at this point on a certain pace, barring like injury or catastrophic bike problem, they're going to clear the course. It's just a matter of who does it with making the least mistakes.
So right now, only one team has gotten all the mandatories and actually crossed the finish line.
Oh, yes. We do have an official finisher.
So,
official finisher.
So technically, are they if the race ended right now,
What do they
they'd be
call
the
it?
winners.
Yeah, first in the barn or whatever that is. So like, yeah, they completed all the mandatory points. They did paddling, they did trekking, they did biking. And
Whoa,
they
which
decided
team was that?
That was
290, right?
Yep.
You don't have all the team names memorized
No,
by number.
it's a local team too. So right now I feel horrible. It's
I tripped you up on that one.
Yeah, it's a local team. Melissa Dupke is the team captain. Chick Points? Is that right?
No,
No.
that's not it.
It's all female.
Is it Fragile Flowers?
Nope.
No.
No.
It's not the Wilderness Wenches either. We can go through every female team and we'll land on it.
Yeah. So give us a hot minute.
I mean, this is important because
Yeah, there's a finisher, man.
right
We wanna-
now, they're actually winning.
Yeah, let me do a little sorting here. It's funny, you spend all this time looking at these team names, you'd think you could. Adventure Girls.
No.
Adventure Girls.
Come on.
I know. I'm going to owe them some drinks, I think, for
Yeah,
sure, for
yeah.
forgetting their
Ad-
name.
Adventure Girls until somebody else crosses that line.
Yep.
First place.
They are in first
Yep,
place.
I think they're eating some macaroni and cheese right now.
I know. They're enjoying their victory for as long as they have it.
Oh, that's something else worth bringing up real quick, just so people are aware. Like, and this doesn't, race by race, this differs. But for teams when they complete stage 1, because it's a pretty big burly stage, they've got the option of either some hot vegetable soup or hot mac and cheese over there, which is good. But we also have a warm room that they can plot in and strategize in, and a bonfire. So
Cushy.
we're kind of being nice, but we're kind of being mean, because for those of you that don't know the sport very well, those are all very dangerous things, especially that fire. If you're coming off that paddle cold in the dark, your body's telling you to go find a warm place and lay down, and then you're done. So the fastest team didn't even get any food. And that was with Dolly. Quest shared 1 cup of stuff and like jammed it in their face on the way out of TA. And then we've got teams kind of chilling and recovering and eating for a little bit before they head back out there. So we're trying to be nice, but I think we are. But it can be dangerous for some teams.
For sure, for sure. And this first stage really was a race in itself.
Yeah.
I mean, every single discipline was represented there, and for a lot of teams, that was a real good 12-plus hour race.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, our pleasure.